Hello and welcome to Economics 801 for Ryerson University, presented by Arcanum. The first 4 videos are supposed to cover Chapter 3, that is the main part of your first midterm. So after watching these videos and solving sample questions, you should be comfortable with the majority of your midterm. We first start by discussing simple and compound interest rates, what they mean and what are the differences between them. Now, assume you have $1,000. Now, what are your options with that $1,000? You can either put it under the pillow, in which case you're not going to be making any money on that $1,000. Another option for you is to go to the bank and invest the $1,000. And in this case, let's assume that the bank compounds 10% per year on your investment. In this situation, which option would you choose? Of course, you would choose to invest your money and put them into the bank as opposed to keeping them under your pillow. Now, this covers the concept of time value of money, which means that with time, your money will make more money. Now, assume you made the smart choice of investing $1,000 into the bank. What's going to happen next? Once you deposit the $1,000 into the bank, your initial balance at the beginning of the year will be $1,000. And as you remember, our assumption is that interest rate per year is 10%. Now, we first start by discussing a very important concept, which is the cash flow diagram. Now, the cash flow diagram will show you the inflows and outflows of the money. This is the most basic thing for you to understand to succeed in this course. The cash flow diagrams always starts with year 0, which is the moment right now. So right now we are at time 0. That's when we start our count and look at the future events. So at this moment, we just invested the $1,000 into the bank. This was a cash outflow for us. Why? Because we took this money out of our pocket and we gave it to the bank. Because we took the money out of our pocket, that is a cash outflow. Hence, you will draw the arrow pointing down because it is a cash outflow. Now, what is going to be the balance in year 1? The balance in year 1 is going to consist of your original investment of $1,000 plus the interest that the bank is going to compound on your investment. So we assume that the interest is 10%. 10% of $1,000 is $100 plus your original investment of $1,000 will give you $1,100 balance in 1 year. What does it mean? Well, that means that in a year you made $100 by simply putting your money into the bank. So once again, coming back to the concept of the time value of money, which means that with time, your money makes you more money because you can always invest them safely. Now in this case, after a year, we can withdraw our $1,000 plus the 10%, or at least we will withdraw the interest, the 10% of $1,000. Now, because this is something that we're going to take out of the bank and put it into our pocket, that is the cash inflow, the cash flows towards us. Hence, you will see the arrow pointing up because it is a cash inflow. Now, let's assume that we want to keep our $1,000 in a bank for more than 1 year. So let's say we keep it for 3 years. What happens then? As we have already discussed, in a year, we're going to make $100 worth of interest. Now, assume we're not going to touch the $100. So we're going to keep both our original investment of $1,000 and our interest in the bank. So after year 1, the balance in our bank account is going to be $1,100, which is made of $1,000 original investment plus $100 interest that we made within 1 year. Now, what happens in year 2? Well, in year 2, the bank is going to say, what was his or her balance at the end of year 1. And the balance was $1,100. So the bank is going to say, okay, your new balance is going to be the balance in year 1 plus the interest that we compound on your balance. What is the balance in year 1? That's $1,100. What is the interest? Well, the interest is 10% of $1,100, which is $110. So our final balance in year 2 is $1,210. Now, following the same logic, balance in year 3, we again look back 1 year and ask what was our balance in the previous year. We're going to calculate the interest based on the balance in the previous year. So 10% of the previous year balance, which is $1,210, is going to be $121 plus our original balance in year 2 of $1,210. So our final balance in year 3 is going to be $1,331. Now, a very important observation here is the fact that the interest each year in terms of dollars increases. So although we're keeping our rate in terms of percentage 10% constant, the interest that we're making in terms of dollars is continuously increasing. In year 1 we made $100, in year 2 we made $110, and in year 3 we made $121. And this is a very important feature of the compound interest rate. So what does compound interest do? Compound interest always looks 1 year back. As you remember, we were always checking what was our balance in the previous year. So it has the constant interest rate in terms of the percentage, which was 10%, and it has increasing interest in terms of dollars. So $100 in year 1, $110 in year 2, and $121 in year 3. Okay, so let's now talk about the simple interest and how it is different from the compound interest. What simple interest does is it always looks at year 0. So keeping the interest rate same, 10%, and our initial investment same, $1,000, the dollar interest is going to be 10% of $1,000 is $100. And this interest will stay constant year over year. Why? Because we would always look at our original investment of $1,000. So we always look at year 0 and we calculate the interest based on our original balance of $1,000. That means that each year we're going to be making $100 worth of interest. So our balance in year 1 will be our original investment of $1,000 plus the $100 interest, which is $1,100. Our balance in year 2 will be $1,200, which is balance in year 1 plus again $100 of interest. And balance in year 3 is going to be $1,300. So what is a very important observation here? Well, it's that the fact that the interest in terms of dollars is constant. So as opposed to compound interest rate, when the interest in terms of dollars was increasing, in this case the interest in terms of dollars stays constant. So what is the difference between simple and compound interest rate? First of all, compound interest rate looks 1 year back and compounds interest on the balance 1 year before. Simple interest rate, on the other hand, always looks at the original investment, year 0, and it compounds interest based on the original investment. Compound interest rate in terms of in terms of dollars is increasing, while simple interest in terms of dollars is staying constant. And that concludes our first video. In the next video, we're going to be talking about the discount factors and their applications in economics.